Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming, and this is From the Depths campaign mode. We're once again in Netta, currently just in the LZ-2 airship bomber, and after the last session, what we're planning to do is we're sending the High Seas Air Group here to capture this area, the LZ-2 to capture this area, and I'm going to try and get this scout squadron through the Onyx Watch's territory with minimal effect, hopefully, into this area up here, and hopefully I'm going to put them onto their high speed, their top speed group, might get them up to, yes, 20 meters a second. That's a little better, but the plan generally is to keep moving forward on the deep waters guards area, whilst I basically build up enough resources to start bringing in basically the next big fleet. We need a big, I think, fleet to defend this area here, but also to work against the deep water guard. They're not going to sit back and just let me take all of these areas, I'm pretty sure. We're going to set these up ready to take all this area, just to act as, there we go. That's my new patrol route for the LZ-1 Scout as our front level support as such. Scout plane. We have a Rapier coming in, which is that's a little sea ship. Don't think I'll worry too much about that. My little air group should make fairly quick work of that. So we should see us again once I get some something big coming, something happening. Otherwise I'm just going to be taking areas, I think, for this first little while. We'll see what happens. And an interesting little development is my little move in the other area has obviously brought out the Onyx Watch, and this deep water guard's decided to go into the ground. But the Onyx Watch has actually declared war on us, so you can't spend much time in an enemy square. Now that's bad. I'm also getting hit a bit on my Oswald. Another little problem was half the aircraft that I had here crashed when they spawned, because they were basically in one place. I hadn't split them up properly, so yeah, that's also somewhat annoying. So I could have quite a little interesting time coming up ahead, because we've got a lot of this little Rapier is a pain because it's sending in missiles. This is going to be awkward, and torpedoes. It's the torpedoes which have basically tried to blow the crap out of my ship. And rather than continue with what I had, I've actually bringing my LZ-2 in against the Rapier, because those fighter bombers on the Oswald it was not working basically. I'll have to find a better way of using them, but at the moment we are taking a lot of hits in from that Rapier. It's made quite a few holes in some of the upper plates, but we're continuing on. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of missiles. This Rapier is firing in, I think he's firing in lots of small missiles. Yes, it's basically he's got an fast firing APS guns, and all these small missiles are doing a fair bit of damage to me. I need to get close. Currently my casement guns are firing back, but they're not doing a lot, and yeah, that's a big gaping hole just there. I think we're going to be having some we're still staying afloat, which is surprising, but that's going to take a bit of repairing. This is obviously a big downside of not having missile protection in my vehicles. and maybe I will have to find some sort of system out, but I think he's mainly firing an unguided. If I just, let's see if they're unguided. So if I just bring up, I should see, oh no, they are, they looks like they do have some sort of guidance, maybe infrared or something. So maybe maybe I need to look at some decoys as a first step towards protection against the enemy's missiles. But just at this second, yeah, I'm taking a fair bit of damage. We are still using the circle commands, not going over with the crams, because he's a small ship. So it's supposed to be just using our casement guns against him. I'm surprised we're still flying. Look how many areas have been taken out. So effectively we're flying because of the front and rear sections, I think, at the moment. But we are, and now we're going to face the other way, and it's mainly those small missiles. What a pain. Are we actually doing any damage to him? Let's see it. Is there actually any damage being done to the enemy? Not much really. That he doesn't really have so much sight. Oh, that said, we just hit a bit on the back, but we don't seem to be doing much damage to him, which is a bit disappointing to say the least. There is shots coming in, but not as much as he's doing on us, and that looks like he has given us some sort of very detrimental shot there by the looks of it. I'm going to continue off, so this is either going to be a death or glory for our Zeppelin, and potentially a rebuild needed. It's obviously missiles that are its Achilles heel, and we need to find a way to defend it against such attacks. I might even have to pull back the other squadron against this, I think, and see if we can get it to defend our resource zone and pull back to that area as a start and repair these ships. Okay, this is an interesting start to this particular session. Not what I expected. Yeah, but yeah, he's given us some serious damage. We are still just about staying afloat, but it's surprising, obviously having a few problems. We are still firing, but oh, that could be somewhat detrimental. He's just separated one of the main areas, and that's going to mean that that's had the AI in it. So yeah, I think that's going to be a no to me being able to continue this battle. So I have managed to get my little scout fleet involved in this battle, and I'm just checking the AIs to see if they are actually going to avoid the land. I have actually updated them quickly with the new anti-collision code, but let's see if they can take on the enemy. I did also bring in a couple of the Zeppelins again, but I might take it back if it's just going to take damage. I think the scout one, yeah, the scout one's not going to do any damage. I'm going to take the scout one out. It's just going to get destroyed. And the same with the LZ2. So we just leave it down, I think, to the ships here, and hope they can survive against a missile onslaught. And we've got a battle finished, which isn't what I expected. So let's have a look what's happening there, and it's showing as destroyed. That's interesting. Must have been because of the distance it was away from my ships. The new code must have thought it was out of range. Well, that's a bit cheaty for me. Okay. So, right, so we've taken a bit of a pounding in that little experience. So, and I've now angered the Deepwater Guard. Sorry, the Onyx Watch. So I am now at war with the Onyx Watch as well. Only just, but we are at war with them. So I think I'm going to need something to protect and start on the Onyx Watch at the same time as the Deepwater Guard. And I need to quickly get through this Deepwater Guard group. And see what was happening with all of my ships, because that was a little annoying. So the scout group now is going to try and take on what it can here with support from the High Seas group, the Air Squadron, and the LZ2 as backup once it has repaired. The LZ1 is going to have to stick on being
moving out.
high scout group, and what I'm going to do is start building up a new force to go against the Onyx Watch. Now, hopefully, I can still do it with torpedo boats. So I'm going to build a similar fort as I had here for the VAC, and create a Yagd group. Almost identical to go up against the High Seas group here. But first of all, I'm going to have to take this river home. I'm not too worried about that. So actually, I'm going to go in to Kiel and start this building first, because I think that's more important to get this starting to build a new force to defend against the Onyx Watch. So whilst building up my fleet, we were attacked by a Paliba, which is a airship of, let's see, quite large size. Now my LZ2 and my other ships, let's see if we can take this down. This is going to be tight, I think. Come on, there we go. I will take out off, don't need those, and I don't need to be controlling the weapons, that's it. Let's go and have a look at this. This could be another tough one that he's coming in with on the ships. Could be problematic. Let's have a look. I haven't seen this ship for a while. This is quite a highish level. I don't know, is it medium level? Anyway, it's an airship. It's quite tough. I'm assuming it's propeller driven inside, but if that gets a broadside on me, yeah, those guns are going to cause me a bit of problems. I'm hoping I can get enough hits in before it gets a broadside. Is there propellers inside? I'm guessing there is. I didn't quite see there. I know there's propellers outside, so maybe it's just the propellers outside that are giving it enough lift. Those sails are obviously adding something to it. Now we are shooting at it, and that's coming out, but it has got missiles. So those damn missiles again, are they guided? Let's see if they're guided ones. Looks like they potentially are. Let's have a look. Although it's probably we've done some damage to it by the looks of it, because it is going down now. My ships are getting, well, the Rapier, the SMS Rapier is getting close enough to get in with guns at least. Although it's not main guns. It seems to be. Oh no, it is getting low enough for the 88s to do a bit of a pounding. But it looks like we're taking a fair bit of damage at the moment. Let's see how it's going with damage. Oh, our torpedo boats are okay, but obviously it's not in the water for our torpedo boats to really have a problem. And there is all of those, and they look like they're crams. And oh, Yeah, they just blew the arse end off of the vac by the looks of it. That was, oh, I think we're lucky. We were lucky with that, but that could have been worse. Although we are heading towards the grounding ourselves, even with the... It's going to be going hard right now, but I don't think it can turn right fast enough. Might just get away with it. Might just get away with that by the looks of it. Collision avoidance did work, luckily, and we've got... Oh, it's gone into the water, which means our torpedo boats can do their business, although they are being fired at now. Is that... Are they guided? Our torpedoes are not firing for some reason, which is... Oops, I'm on guns, but... Oh no, they are. They are. Maybe it didn't register them for a second, or they were too close. But we have got torpedoes going in, which is good. So it looks like I've got to sort out... Let's get rid of those for a second. Sort out some sort of anti-missile ability for some of our ships. We have managed to survive, and our airship is also circling and giving a bit of damage. So okay, once we've knocked them out of the air, it seems to be not too bad, and hopefully we'll get some supplies from this to repair ourselves. But it was nasty. But those missiles, so I'm guessing they must be guided in some way, that the little trails on them are obviously some sort of guidance system. So we do need some sort of anti-missile decoys. This is where the LR, it's actually been too accurate, depending on how you want to look at it. Those shots unfortunately did no damage, but torpedoes are coming in. Still, this is the challenge of doing things with historical builds, because my ships aren't ultra powerful and have lots of weaknesses, because I have built them to be, you know, historical inspired. So I do need to almost a friendly torpedo or two going out here. They are getting a little close to each other. Yep, they're getting a little close, but they're doing the job. I did actually work out on whether it's worth to using changing the torpedoes. I did do some work on self-guiding ones, and it was a 50-50 whether to use a one turn or not. So I might change some of these, and I'll go through those on a different ship. But just at this second, it's working. I'm not going to change something that is working at the moment. The broadside is causing a big problem to some of the ships, of course. You know, that amount of guns is going to cause me problems. But let's see, are we... Unfortunately, a lot of the guns are damaged on this. We are firing. I think we're still relying more on the torpedoes than anything else at this stage. But yep, my fleet needs expanding, I think, before I go too far. And now, having angered the Onyx Watch, I have got a two-sided battle coming on. And I think I'm going to have to be a little defensive until I can build up enough resources to get a decent sized fleet out. Come on, torpedoes, do your thing. Well, after defending the area against that Paribas, however you pronounce it, I've separated off the fleet that was down at the home base, and I'm building some new ships up at the home base with another aviso to take over some of these areas. Now we can see we have a Squadron there, so what I'm going to try and do is send this force up to take these areas, see if we can give ourselves a little buffer whilst the force down here defends. And also I'm sending these out to capture the two squares, again give us a little bit of a buffer area. We've got one at 58%, and I think the other one, the high seas group, the air group, is just about in that area. And then we're going to proceed down this channel, and this northern one goes in and basically disrupts the Onyx Watch. Now I'm hoping that a load of torpedo boats will be reasonable against the Onyx Watch. So for instance, this is quite fast, this Squadron, but I'm hoping that some of them will be, they'll be good enough. There's a lot of the Onyx Watch ships are quite slow, which makes them quite good torpedo bait. That's my hope anyway. So let's just put them into a high speed mode so they get there a little quicker. And this is now capturing here, and that's almost captured that area. And we have another challenge coming up to this area. We captured one zone, but we've now got a Rapier again and a Pilferer. So I'm going to try and take these on, and a coffin nail. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to take those two on with primarily this fleet. Now I will add in the high seas group, but I want the VACT and the torpedoes in first. And these in second. Now how much shall be? Okay, I think it's going to be an all-in attack. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is a make or break time. I've made a couple of changes to the torpedo boats on their missiles, and just a slightly different design on the missiles, and the aiming. Took out the one turn and used their because we're going to get slightly faster. I'm going to try that in the battle, but let's give this a go. I haven't put any decoys yet on the SMS VACT, which is possibly what I'm going to do, but we're going to have to see what's happening up here. Unfortunately, I think my oops, let's just get up here. My aircraft might be a little close initially to this Rapier, and I didn't get taken out. I'm hoping the VACT, the SMS Oswald, can get away before this Rapier basically damages it too much. Looks like some of our aircraft, maybe we dropped some. It may split its fire up though, so that could be good. We don't, those missiles aren't guiding onto our ships, which is good, but they're not exactly holding out either. So we've got our bombers etc attacking? Not yet. Hopefully we've got missiles coming in by the looks of it. The missiles are firing up and then they're coming in on the Oswald etc, which is not good. This is designed to be a back and it's got to the front of the battle. The high seas fleet is the one I want at the front of the battle. Hopefully though we can get some bombs and torpedoes in. Come on, is this bomber gonna actually drop some on the target? Yeah, it is dropping. It's dropping a little late. I'm gonna have to. I did say before I was gonna adjust that on the bomber, and I didn't get round to doing it. That could keep. Oh, I've got the coffin nail in as well. I didn't want the coffin nail in at the same time as the Pilferer and all the rest. This could be again dangerous, but that's the name of the game. And I wasn't having an easy time of this using historical models. Let's see what we can get having there. Well, these torpedo bombers are, I think they're coming in now for their torpedo runs, and they do drop guided torpedoes, so hopefully they will come in with some sort of attack. Looks like a lot of the missiles are now going over after the SMS VACT, which, yeah, is doing a lot of damage. Damn missiles. We'll have to sort out some decoys, I think, on the Aviso, just so it's got some way of at least decoying the missiles a little bit, I think. Because the missile spam coming in is just a little too much to work against, really. Considering we're still against effectively simple-ish deep water guard. I've obviously overestimated my ship's capabilities at the moment, unfortunately. And the Oswald looks like it's had its, yes, torpedoes have taken out its propulsion, which again is not good. Let's hope the torpedo boats can get up and get some torpedoes in. Now we've got, by the looks of it, we've got some torpedoes from the torpedo planes going in now, which is, oh, they're going for the pilferer. Okay, fair enough. I don't care what they go for as long as they hit something, although I'm not sure it's got the range. Also, this coffin nail, we should have some fighters going in against it, hopefully, but we'll have to see how that goes. It depends if the Oswald is able to spawn any in. Otherwise, we're just going to be bait for its cram cannon at first. Mistake I made there is letting the Oswald get in front. Oh, I'm getting damaged. That's not good. The coffin nail is obviously getting above the VACT and is doing its cram cannons, etc., down on me, which again is not a good thing. Don't hit my own ship, please. Thank God. Thank you. I got past that one. So I have put the missiles now. They're not one-turn guided. Now this I found is better against ships which are moving, as it tries to estimate the position. And we have got the front torpedo I have made as sonar. They're using sonar torpedoes on me, so I think it's only fair I use sonar torpedoes on them. That's my thought process. Now we've got the cannons will be firing against this, so hopefully that can do some damage against it. It looks like actually it's already damaged the coffin nail a bit. That's good. We might still have a good chance here. We're going to take a lot of damage, but maybe let's see what happens. We're not out of it yet. So it's taken a while, but this coffin nail's getting slowly damaged. You can see the blocks are being pulled off of it, mainly from the simple cannons. We haven't got any fighters coming up yet to be able to attack it, from what I can see. I'm not sure if it's because it's too high. Maybe even though it's too high for the ships to realise how to attack it best. Looks like this is maybe a fighter. We have got some fighters coming up, although it's having a bit of a problem getting out of the water, which is not good. We've got a lot of damaged ships around. Our torpedo planes are slowly having a go at the pilferer with their torpedoes, but they have taken a few bits of damage as well, but they are slowly whittling it down. But the current target is this coffin now. It's a bit of a slugfest because I'm just using effectively these small cannons to try and damage it. I think they've taken out a bit of the main gun at the bottom, at least some of it, the barrel, which makes it less accurate at least. And you can see there is blocks being continuously knocked off a bit, so it's just a matter of once it can hit something a little bit more vital on it, maybe it will damage it. We can see it's firing its cram cannons at some of the planes. And when it does hit, those cram cannons do hit big, as you would expect. The Oswald is still trying to build some fighters, by the looks of it, to try and go against the coffin nail. So it's spawning in a one of the, what is it, the J11, but it hasn't got a lot of resources because it's trying to rebuild itself as well as spawning an aircraft, which isn't necessarily a good thing. But our torpedo boats are doing a job. They're running around. They are taking the occasional bit of damage, obviously, but they're running around, firing their guns, firing their torpedoes at the target. So yeah, in general, the torpedo planes are still going in against the pilferer, and that's given us a chance, at least, to go against, you know, to survive. It's given us a chance to repair. And the torpedoes are, yep, the torpedoes are having a good go against this pilferer. As you can see, some of them are now guided torpedoes. I just put a sonar block on the front. It's the one that fires out the front. I made a guided one, and the ones on the sides, on the turreted elements, now aren't guided, but they have a ballast tank. There was one that just missed, so I'm going to rely on the turret aiming at the target and then firing. That's the hope. Oh, that one just missed. That was an unguided one. So yeah, it all depends on the unguided ones how much the enemy moves. Everything seems to be getting a bit of damage at the moment in one way or another. And unfortunately, a lot of the ships are getting hit by a torpedo myself there. They have got the object avoidance. I was getting... Now, the only problem with some of the torpedoes is I don't have a friend or foe identification on the ships at the moment. So that may be causing the occasional problem. You can see that occasionally guided torpedoes detecting my own ship. That's not a good thing. So coffin nail still being attacked by the simple cannons. I think we need something a little bit more, I think, on these. It's not taking enough damage at the moment. What's happening with the Oswald? And the Oswald's making its way away. Just doesn't seem to be building these defences in time, or the bomber they're not taking off. There's some problem. And we've got torpedoes coming in for us on occasion, and I'm wondering whether that's our friendly torpedoes are homing in on the wrong ship. I need to put a friend or foe. Yeah. Let's sort that one out while I'm thinking about it. And luckily it looks like we managed to do a big hit on the coffin nail. Maybe hit ammo or something, so that is a major plus, and a plus for the simple weapons. Although we did lose the SMS Vactors, did succumb, and the pilferer as well to the torpedo blows, but it was again, that was another close battle, to be honest. In the end, you can see we lost the SMS Vact and a whole load of other ships. So let me just bring these all out of play. Let's do a pull all. Yeah, close. I'm gonna have to see. We got a lot of damage all over the place. I think we're gonna have to maybe pull back a little bit. Don't want to do that. That's least of my ideas. But can't keep on taking this amount of damage. The other problem I've got is all of my ships here are out of materials, which means fuel, ammo, etc. So they're going to have to come back to here to resupply, basically. So however much I would like to go forward with that attack, I think we're going to have to resupply our fleet and yeah, and go defensive to some degree at least, because there is just no way we are going to be able to keep up that level of, you know, basically without fuel for ammo there's not a lot we can do. So we are capturing still this one in the north, and it looks like the Deepwater Onyx Watch are coming to defend that. So I am going to allow this one to go through and see if what happens against this Straws land, to see if our ships have a chance against them, or if it's time to rethink everything, shall we say. And we've got the Strawsland in range, so I'm going to go straight for an attack, even though straight away I bet that's going to close up with me. I'm going to begin straight away. That is the really annoying, how they get the opportunity to close the range immediately. Anyway, I better get back onto a ship. It means we're seeing what it's like against a Strawsland. So Strawsland is a sailing ship. It's got a big cram broadside, which could, well, yeah, you can tell that's done a lot of damage coming in with that number of crams. But hopefully it's going to be susceptible to a load of torpedoes heading its way. Sorry, you can't see anything. Let's just see what sort of damage that did. Oh yeah, look, that definitely took out a fair bit of damage from the top there. Just make sure I'm not on any weapons. Yeah, okay, I am healing. Well, that took an initial toll on my ship. Is that again? Okay, now that I'm moving, it's slightly less, but we have torpedoes going in. Oh, it fires at quite a fast rate as well. So I can expect to take quite a bit of damage here. I mean, there's a lot of guns there. I'm hoping the ships will torpedo. Come on guys, get your torpedoes out. That's more important than anything. Nearly torpedoed my own ships there. Right, I think we're staying out of range to a degree of some of those guns, which is good. Are our torpedoes connecting? We're in quite choppy waters here. The torpedoes are connecting, which is, but we've got a lot of metal to get through here, so this could take a little while to get through. Some of the torpedoes are missing, some of the unguided ones, but some are hitting quite nicely. That's all right. And if we get it so that it becomes unstable, now I know these ships, they use the old tactic of downward facing propellers to stay afloat, basically, because they're quite compact. So if I could hit some of the the propellers. Oh, there's another big shot, and that could be bad. Oh, did take some hits. It's standing up to it though. It is taking damage though. My torpedo boats really have a problem in this rough sea. Look, they're basically becoming submarines and then launching them upwards, some of them. So yeah, that's a little bit awkward. Then again, even this Strawsland's having a bit of a problem in these seas. It looks like against the Onyx Watch I need some ships which are a bit better in the high seas. But okay, my torpedo boats are doing okay. As long as they don't get hit, they are surviving at this moment. As long as we don't get something which has got lots of decoys, then we're okay. Or really fast firing guns. Obviously if we go up another level, that's going to be problematic, but I'm happy with what I'm seeing at the moment against the Onyx Watch. I'm more worried about the deep water guard at the moment with all the missiles they fire. One good thing about the sea and the small ships is the upwards and downwards motion of this rough sea is actually putting off his aim for the cram cannons. That's a positive. I'm taking whatever positive I can here. Some are still hitting, as you can see, and I don't think my 88s have been doing too much damage, but every bit helps. See how just missing behind. So yeah, that suddenly shoots up, so it's going to be aiming ahead, so its averaging is going to be out a little bit. But torpedo boats are circling and they're doing sort of damage repeatedly, and it looks like the Squadron's lost torpedo possibly propeller arms on one side, or is it just power? I think we've hit the power plant. Excellent. Yes, it looks like we've taken the power plant, which has stopped the propellers, which means it's now unstable. That's the problem with building ships which are not naturally stable. All my ships I build are naturally stable, so you've really got to pretty much destroy them. Although so far for the deep water guard that hasn't been a problem, but it looks like that Squadron is going down. Excellent. That is a great positive thing that I was after, and it shows that against the Onyx Watch I've got a chance. So maybe I'll change tactics. Let's have a look once this is truly gone. Almost done. Almost. Come on. It's definitely disintegrating, not just being blown up. It's definitely disintegrating. Excellent. And come out of that with relatively good, actually. Let's pull everything out so we can continue capturing that square. Okay, so I'm happy with what I'm seeing here in the Northern Fleet. This Northern Scout Squadron, it's able to capture that okay. Let's put that back onto cruise mode. You're not going to go back there. I'm going to have to manually make you go back into the capture zone, aren't I? Annoying. How are we doing over here? So we've got the LZ2 and we've got the LZ1. We've used a lot of the materials up here. I haven't rebuilt the SMS VACT here yet. That's still just a blueprint. The air group hopefully will rebuild so that we've got a bit of an air fleet here for defensive purposes. So okay, interesting. Right, the way my change is going to happen is I've got to be a bit defensive here. I think that's because I'm setting myself quite a challenge. That's fine. So thoughts, should I just go into the Onyx Watch and try to use my torpedo boats etc to expand into the Onyx Watch territory, since I'm already having to attack them anyway, and just defend and slowly move up on the deep water guard? That's option one. Option two is just hold this northern area against the Onyx Watch, but don't go any further. Just take those first few squares and then hold it with a couple of fleets and mainly push against the deep water guard. That's another possible option. So well, that's the two options there. So what do you think? We've just taken that one, so we will move on to the next square. I'm obviously making myself a target for the Onyx Watch, but such is life. I can't really do much about that at this moment. That was a mistake, but I'm okay with taking on the Onyx Watch. Building ships. What do you think I should do against the missiles? Allowing for historical builds. I can't put Sea Whiz, or I don't want to put a Sea Whiz systems onto that, and also missile interceptors. But what do you think? What's historical sort of equivalent? They're using missiles against me, so I am going to upgrade some of the torpedoes to be guided torpedoes, because they're using guided torpedoes against me, so I will use guided torpedoes against them. Maybe that'll be my campaign sort of strategy, is saying I'll only use against them what they use against me. I think that's sort of fair, isn't it? So they are using missiles, but I'll try and still keep it historically within history, etc. It's sort of historically inspired. Try and keep it within. But what do you think? The just put a lot of decoys, maybe on the Abyssos, the Oswald, and the Zeppelins, so at least they've got some defence against guided missiles. So put a radar and flare droppers, or maybe torpedo simulators, that's the word I'm thinking of. Put some various sort of simulators and decoys out there, because they're not obviously big flares and stuff like that, so that might be a possibility. What do you think? Let me know in any suggestions for the changes to the ships, and I'll put them in and then just retrofit. We'll take it as the Imperial planners have come up with some ideas as to what are good defences against the enemy we're against, which we're seeing here, and hopefully we'll survive long enough for that to get implemented and get some more resources coming out. We have got a new fleet with a new ship, which I haven't shown yet, but I will show, which will be a bit give us a little bit more power, specifically against the Deepwater Guard. So that is a potential, but maybe I'll upgrade some of the ships to slightly different, to take account of the changes we come up with and you might suggest. So anyway, that's it for now. A challenging episode, because I thought I was going to walk all over them, and they came up with a few ships for my size which were a bit challenging. Then again, don't want it too easy that I just wipe the floor with big ships. It's quite a challenge doing it with little ships. As always, keep playing the game and have fun.